Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode. I feel like I haven't been completely transparent with my reasoning behind this channel, so I'm gonna go ahead and do that now. Honestly, it's more of a thing for me. I'm gonna be using it kind of like a trade journal slash idea journal, just so I can go back in time and kind of see where I was at, see where my mindset was, and try to understand my previous ways of thinking. I think that's really going to advance my education, and I think YouTube's a great platform to do it because they're going to store it for free. So, nothing better than that. Anyways, let's just jump right into it. Starting off with Bitcoin news here, just looking at all the major news sources and seeing what they're saying. It's all extremely bullish, which makes complete sense because it would appear that we are going to just keep on rallying to new all-time highs. There have been a lot of talks about institutional investors entering the space, especially in 2017, going into 2018, and we're beginning to see it again. Crypto FOMO makes even a 350% premium on Bitcoin look appealing. Super bullish news. Will Bitcoin price hit 500,000? Hilarious. Hilarious. Look at this Yahoo Finance. Who wrote this? Brian Sawsey. Clown. Um, Honestly, no one can say where this is going to top out at, and having an estimation hundreds of percents away, thousands of percent away from where we currently are trading at. Yeah, almost 2,000% away from where we're trading currently. He must have a crystal ball because I definitely don't, and I don't see a $500,000 price valuation on this asset. Oh, finally, some bearish news, the very last one. Normally, when there's a lot of super bullish news, I kind of have no other choice but to get bearish because that's when everyone's hearing about it, everyone's talking about it. And as you can see here, it is reflected in the Fear and Greed Index, of course. Constantly talking about it. It's only ticked down 1 point. Not the greatest indication of strength here. We definitely want to see this cool off a little bit before we continue on upwards. Let's go ahead and hop into some price action. Start out on BLX index on the weekly. Super bullish. What can I say? If it closes like this, just a massive, major, girthy green candle. I mean, let's just bask in the glory. It has honestly been super bullish in recent weeks. But as always, we have to fear that 20%, 30% move to the downside. That would bring us back to the 21 exponential, as Bitcoin is known to do in bull markets. If you go back in time here, take a look at it. Boom, right here. Perfect touch off of it. Incites a 109% move to the upside. Boom, right here. Wicks below it. Never closes below it. That incites another 110% move to the upside. Impressive, Bitcoin. The next time we touch it here, let's go ahead and take a look. A 213% move to the upside. Jesus Christ. Granny's getting a new pair of shoes. Insanity. Look at this. Doesn't even get a closure near it. We're getting only a wick to it. And the next move off of that, 156%. Impressive, to say the least. So, thinking about a move down to the 21 exponential on the weekly is definitely not out of the question. Would bring us down in current moment in time at 1513. But I'd not 1513, 15,013. But definitely will continue rising as we trade above it. So it's probably not going to come in there, as I don't see us hitting it on this weekly candle unless something goes majorly wrong and we get a gigantic wick to the downside. We'll see how that goes. Let's get on to some lower term time frames here. Take a look at Bittrex on the daily. No, we're not on the daily. We're still on the weekly. On the daily here. See, this is my most recent horizontal I've drawn in is just the closure of yesterday. And currently trading at, or not currently trading at, but currently sitting at 23,883. That is our current level of resistance to break through before we see some continuation to the upside. As you can see on the volume profile on the right here, just there's absolutely no interest in this area. Absolutely, it's the smallest node on on the entire indicator. So there's no interest in this region. An obvious area of interest would be around these few large nodes, and it also comes in line with this blue box territory that we have drawn here. I expect us to just play within this range until we get either a breakage to the upside or the downside. But at the current moment in time, we're just getting rejected by the top side of the range. And it's just going level by level, people. If we were to lose this level in some kind of flash dump, we would go down and test this level, and the range would then be this blue box as resistance on the top side, and this blue box is support on the bottom side. I hate when I take off the volume profile. I always forget to put it on, but hopefully I remember this time. Put on the Bollinger Bands, and what do you know? We got another close above the top side of the Bollinger Band, like we were expecting. Today we will have a chance to close below the top side of the Bollinger Band. That's currently coming in at 23,600. If we do close below there, I expect a move down to the middle band, wherever that ends up coming in at. Currently it's trading at 21.1k, but it will rise along with the other moving averages and indicators as we stay above them in this area. Let's go ahead and move down into some even lower term time frames. And I'm going to hop on the corn base chart. Nope, that's too convoluted. Let's see if anything drawn. Nope, I guess we'll just look at the corn base chart, I guess, for the lower term time frames. Here, we'll go actually just go like this. Go like this. Boom, boom, boom. Boom. Go boom. We'll get it figured out, people. Working out a few kinks here. Boom, boom. Measure move's already been hit on that. Okay, and here we are. Go ahead and draw in a new horizontal on that. That last 4-hour closure, not the greatest there. And we're devoted, people, to have a clean chart. Need to have it. Makes reading it a lot easier for you guys. Still going level by level on this as well. I believe this is a horizontal from the daily, so we'll go like that. And I expect us to be playing within this to the downside and the current top at 23,867 to the upside. Support here and test the top side of the range. Rejection here, test the bottom side of the range, which we already have. So yeah, I expect us just to play within this range probably for at least the next 4 or 5 ticks, and then we'll go from there. Did get the rejection from the top side of the band again, so what are we going to do? Test the middle band. Where's that coming in at? 22,922. So we'll see if we front run it or if we actually get down to that point. And that's also going to be rising over time. Could come in and meet us somewhere in the blue box territory as we kind of just grind downwards and sideways. So have to just see how that one plays out. Go ahead and take a look at the hourly here. Hourly, and here's the hourly trends that we were looking at. This is the previous resistance turn to support here. I don't really expect us to come down and test this in the immediate term. Maybe on the way down whenever we reverse. But conversely, this previous support turned into resistance and lost again. I did not confirm it as support. Not a good sign. Not a good sign. But there is still hope for the bulls. We can confirm support here, have another higher low, and then continue on higher. Did get I guess a little bit of a lower high here, and then definitely gonna confirm a lower low in this region. So we'll see if we can reverse this short-term trend and then rejoin the longer-term trend. I think let's go back to the 4-hour and look at some indicators. 4-hour Stokes lost the bullish control zone, kind of just sneaking around in the neutral zone here. Fresh cross to the downside if we close like this, which more than likely we will. It's going to be 2 hours from now. 4-hour SI, so we lost the moving average and then heading down in the neutral zone. Also not the greatest sign for the bulls. Definitely gonna want to try to regain that moving average within the next few ticks once we come down and meet this area. Start brushing up against it a little bit more. Let's take a look at the hourly soaks. Seemingly fresh cross to the downside, just poking its head a little bit into the bullish control zone and then projected straight back down into the neutral zone. Draw some kind of short-term trend line on the soaks like this, come down and test that and confirm it as another higher low. A little bit of good bullish news as well on the RSI. Something similar can be drawn on here, confirming support here, and then come back up to test the moving average. But overall, not the most bullish of cases. All trading below the moving average on here and having these cross down in the neutral zone on here. Let's take a look at this. Beautiful, guys. Lose the top band, rejection from the top band, come back down, test the middle band. I think that just about wraps it up for the short-term time frames. Head on over to Ethereum. Let's see how convoluted this chart is. Oh, it's nice. Previous resistance being held as support currently. That is currently at 647.41. Not bad, not bad. Also confirming a wick down support of the previous trend line of supports that can be drawn here. Very nice. Let's take a look. Still have not hit the 1618 on this though. Still coming in at 727. So see if we can get that final push up there before the reversal to the downside. Would be nice. Kind of going backwards here. Actually, take a look at the momentum oscillators. Hourly Stokes cross to the downside in the neutral zone. Could confirm another higher low here as long as we don't tick below 49.46. And on the RSI, starting to get down into the bearish biased portion of the neutral zone here. Not the greatest, but I guess in the super macro, this could be potential area of reversal. Just have to wait and see. Maybe something like that. Let's go ahead and take a look at the 4 hour. Yeah, 4 hour looking about the same, just confirming support above that trend line. And wicking off of the previous SR flip that we were looking at, going all the way back from late November. We have come down a little bit, but I do not consider that a full test of the SR flip here. The breakout from the ascending triangle, which has a measured move up to 761. While we did come down, I guess it... How much is that off there? Really only off by $8. I mean, I guess close enough is close enough. That could be considered the test and confirm support above there. Which could be great news for confirmation of the upside and the measured move being hit. And that also comes in pretty nice with the 1.618 golden ratio. A little bit higher, but it'd be nice to be able to hit and knock out 2 birds with 1 stone, I guess. Go up to the daily here. Day looking like if we close the next daily bullishly, we could see ourselves poking our head into the bullish control zone. And I must say those are very erect and to the upside. Let's take a look at daily RSI, poking its head up into the bullishly biased area of the neutral zone and getting rejected. Coming down, probably going to test the moving average and we'll go from there. That'll happen in the next 2 or 3 days. Be able to get that tick on there. Take a look at how we're closing on the Bollinger Bands. Yeah, definitely close below the bottom side. Definite rejection from the top side if we close like this. But that next closure is coming in 21 hours. And I do not expect this to be a major, massive daily candle. Inversely, for the bear side, if we do end up start breaking targets to the downside, especially if we were to take out this previous support at 638, to the downside, and we're closing below there, uh, I could definitely see a strong bearish move to the downside. At least closing down to the 617 area here, previous breakout. And if we lose that area, well, we'll get there in the next video.